I'm going to go on to guest artists.
Okay.
So we've really enjoyed your support on this the last several years, being able to bring in guest artists. When we opened the music building, we brought in an English-based a cappella group called the Swingle Singers. They sing all kinds of music, from jazz. They're known for Ward Swingle, who just passed away. He arranges classical music that's normally like organ or instrumental for voices. So anyway, we had them on campus to a packed audience of students and community. And then this year, because of your funding, we were able to bring in the Real Group, which is a Swedish-based jazz ensemble, fantastic concert. And both of these, we were able to piggyback with our TMEA group. They were bringing them in for that convention. So on their way to San Antonio, they stopped here. The first year, the Swingle Singers, it was actually, we had that horrible ice storm, and they drove from Odessa to here in the ice. And they finally got to the airport so I could pick them up and drop the van off. And by then, the university was closed. We couldn't do the concert, so they had to come back later in March and do the concert. We didn't have that problem this year with the Real Group. So I've requested $15,000 for this. 10 of that would go to support a guest artist. Next year, we'd like to bring in a guest opera singer. I've been in conversation with the Dallas Opera. And when they have lined up their talent for next year, we're going to see if somebody they're bringing in might come out here and do a concert and a master class with our students. And then the other part of that, $5,000 would go to help support our groups to perform at these regional conventions that we get to perform at. Last year, this fund helped support the men's choir. They were invited to sing at the American Holdrick Association, which was in Kansas City. So we had a bus and hotel and food, and we were there for 3 days, so it was a little bit of an expensive trip. But those kinds of performances are like the choir going to a divisional playoff game. When you get to the playoff game, we don't officially have a competition, officially, but when everybody's listening to the choirs, there is a competition. And we want to go and win, be the best performance at that conference. And so it's a huge honor for us to be selected to perform at those kinds of things, and it really does do well for our school as far as recruiting and getting our name out. So that's kind of the summary of this request. Those funds would go, they would not cover the expense of these things, they would just help support that. I listed the same things the way we support the mission, and then the budget. So the guest artist budget total is about a little over $16,000. If we travel to TMEA or ACBA, that's going to cost us about $15,000. And so I'm only really asking just for a minimal support if those things would happen next year. And if the crest, yeah, so that's what I said. And then if it didn't happen, we would probably not bring in a guest artist next year. We don't have to do that every year. It's just a great opportunity for our students in the community. And it would make travel to TMEA or ACBA a little more difficult. We just have to find funds other ways. Like with the request I've heard today about just helping support student travel. All of our students at this campus don't have a lot of extra money. And so to ask them to go and, you know, I budget them $6 for lunch and $10 for dinner for their meals, and we get a hotel that has breakfast. That's I said, you can live on this if you're good. And you can. I mean, we know how to do that. But a lot of them do live on that while they're gone. And then others have some money that they can spend. So anyway, any questions about this?
Looking at TMEA, ACA, 60 students, first of all, I think that's a great looking group number. Is that comparable to other universities you're sending groups in terms of size?
Yeah, most collegiate choirs are somewhere between 50 and 65. And ours varies. This semester is 47, so it just depends on the semester.
Is there a reason you don't put your travel, because you travel with TMA, EA every year, don't you?
Not every year.
Not every year?
Yeah.
But you would like to do that, right?
If we get accepted.
Is there a reason you don't put that in your other operations?
Like with ACBA, we didn't have the full fund from this fund, so some of that money I used for my tour money, and my other budget went towards support that. Yes. Okay. And we did get one private donation to help us support that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Have you tried contacting the alumni?
I have. And our alumni are teachers.
Right.
They don't have a lot of extra income.
That's
Yeah.
I'll get a dose of that on Monday when I make my department.
Yeah. And you know, and a school our size just doesn't have that kind of alumni support.
Yeah.
And we have a really great group of alumni. When we go to our convention, we have an alumni reception, and it's always great to see everybody, and they're just working in the trenches, making it themselves. So, you know, surely at some point they're gonna pass away and leave us lots of money, but that's okay in the future. Yeah, anything else? Yes, sir.
So once again, I really didn't know a lot about music, which I guess is painful to
What
admit.
is your major? You keep saying
I
that.
double major in political science and English with a minor in philosophy. Looking at the guest artist request, is 15,000 about the norm for that? Are there
15?
groups who do it cheaper?
There probably are. The group, like on the level of Swingle Singers and Real Group, I found out that 15,000 is pretty standard, their fee. Like if we wanted pentatonics, they're now like way out of line.
They're so good.
2 years ago, they were 15,000. Or maybe a little more than 2 years ago. I've been on the TCDA board, Director of Choral Activities, and our Choral Director Association. And we tried to get them, they sang at a national convention, they were nobody. You know, they're from Arlington.
Yeah, they're
So
from Dallas.
we know their choir director. We said, can't you call them and get them to come to our summer convention? And she called them, and they had just sung at this national convention, and their rate went up from 15,000 to about 100,000.
Yep.
Because they became really popular really fast. Yeah, but 15,000 for a group like that is about normal.
We'll wait for the reunion.
That's right.
Sorry.
They also got signed by Columbia.
Have other questions? About the one-time request?
So, I've been to various concerts, and I really enjoy the music, and personally, I don't want to cut the cultural aspect from our budget. Now, if you had to choose, and I'm saying flexibility, I'm saying, if you had to focus more on one or the other, and I'm not.
Yeah, of the three budgets.
Yeah, of the three budgets.
Yeah, it would be the one-time request that I would let go, because we did get the real group this year. We don't have to do that every year. And if we did get accepted to sing, we just have to go other places to find funding to be able to travel. But the operating budget and the musical theater budget are pretty tight. And we'd have to cut back to, if we lost money, to be able to continue to operate on the same level.
So
That's a
if
good
you
question.
did have to go to other sources, is there an option for you? I mean,
You know,
can
we
you
can
get
always.
help like that or not?
The president, Dr. Jones and Dr. Keck, have been very supportive of us. They've always loved the music department. And when we get in a bind, they don't like to, but they will help us out. And it's kind of like going to Dad going, we need another $50,000, Dad. And you know, they drill us. What have you tried? Da 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 da. And the answer is yes, 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 and we still need $50,000. So yeah, there are ways to do that. It's just not our first choice, and not their first choice. Sure. And I know you all have hard choices to make. I know this is a year that you've got lots of requests, and I appreciate how thorough you're being with your questions and considering all of this.
And I think we've given good responses.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Dr. Hooper? Thank you very much.